Claude 3.7. This is going to be the video you want to see because we're going to talk about the updates and what it means for you in the ability to make money online. In fact, they added a juggernaut coding element to the 3.7 update. So today we're going to dive in, show you some things that we tested, some things that Claude fixed that other AI completely missed, and how you can use this in a super simple way to build content, create codes, make full-on softwares, and even get into agentic reasoning, like having an agent do things for you. So, Alina, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. So this was my first time trying Claude. We haven't touched it for a while after we didn't like this operator they had. But it's always been on top charts, like very close to OpenAI on every features and skills it was providing. So now they're making like a step forward.
Nice. Yeah, and I kind of slept on Claude for, when's the last time we did our robot video?
Maybe like half a year ago.
Yeah, at least a half a year ago. And I'm seeing that now in terms of coding, this blows the other examples out of the water. It is a little bit different than Bolt because Bolt can actually package an entire program.
Yes.
This I kind of like better because it's allowing you to do things one at a time. And if you know how to edit, you know how to build things, it's quite easy.
Yes, they have promised to be an assistant for coding that will run through the code and test it, that will keep the track of changes as well, which is really useful.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
And I think also when they get into the agentic, I think I'm saying the word right, I don't know, that's a weird word. When they have the agents, we'll say it that way, it's going to actually have a coding assistant because they're really close with GitHub, which is the coding, powerhouse.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think this is going to get really, really big. And we went through, tell us about, so Alina here has been working on tools for a lot of our clients. And she started not really knowing how to build tools, and now she's probably surpassed me in tool building abilities. And tell us what that's been like, the tools you used, and how this fixed up one of the tools that you had been working on for
weeks.
Weeks and weeks we were playing with, trying to get it to work, and now it took you like 90 seconds to fix it.
Yeah, so the issue was there was a very long piece of code before that I created in Bolt, and at some point Bolt cannot run preview of it anymore because it was on the simple terms, more like JavaScript, and Claude doesn't really work with this. So we were trying to fix it through Bolt, giving it mistakes and trying to different approaches, which didn't work. Then I switched to Google AI, gave it all the files. It came up with some approaches and good options for testing, which might have helped Claude after, but still it didn't see the mistake. And the mistake was that the button didn't work. Can you open the first one?
Yeah, so here.
Yeah, search for any.
So let's just search for one.
No,
Okay.
it should be name.
Oh, a name, okay. What do we want to search
PayPal.
for? PayPal. Okay.
Okay, so if you press add to comparison button, nothing happens. Which kills all the functionality of a comparison that we had on this page. And none of the other AIs could find this mistake. They were trying to fix it, but it never worked. I was spending like hours going back and forth with it.
Yeah.
So, and then I gave all the files to Claude. You can switch to Claude. Yeah, you can see it separated them very efficiently. I was just pasting them randomly in the chat, but it did separate them in separate things. I gave it the mistakes I have, and it came right away with the mistake that it's seen. It was describing it to me as if I'm a programmer, which I didn't understand, of course. So at the end, I just asked it, like, what should I change? And if you scroll at the very bottom, it gave me very, very bottom.
Very bottom, okay.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, this
There it
code
is.
replaced with this code. There's literally a couple things different here. That's
Nice.
it. And you can go to the second one and see.
So this is the working one.
Oh.
Yep. Did we get the right one?
No, but you can add number 2 at the end of compare here.
Right, like this?
Yeah.
Cool. So this one now, if we put like this, I can add, add,
compare
boom.
them. Yeah, so
That's
the functionality
nice.
finally works.
Yes.
This was because Claude is able to analyze the longer amount of code in different files together.
Oh,
so it
wow.
noticed right away that what's in my index.html for this button is not matching what's my PHP saying. So when it found this mistake really fast, it says, this is not wrong, that's why.
So so first of all, we're building a tool. You created this tool that, I mean, this is a money getting tool. It's based on a market that gets money. It's based on merchant accounts, a lot of money here. Second of all, something you just said that just hit me. Like, I didn't plan on this. It just hit me just now, where you said it had the ability to look at multiple files of code and fix the error in the one that has the error in it.
Yes, exactly. This is what they're coming up with, that it can search through multiple files and analyze them in like how they relate to each other.
So what I'm thinking, because I have bought a lot of codes on Code Canyon, and Code Canyon is a place where you can buy the rights to code. So like if I wanted to buy this, usually they will have an option where you can get the I own it license. What I could do here is I could literally buy codes, add something to them, making them my own. Now I have my own, I have the rights to my own. The Claude 3.7 will change them how I want. So like a lot of people know I have a domains website, which is domains.blogprofit. You've used this site many times.
Yes.
And this was a code that I bought on Code Canyon. It was $75. I didn't get the exclusive because we didn't plan on selling it. And we needed to manipulate this the way that we wanted it. We added a search function. We added the add to cart function. We added the ability to remove the domain once it was purchased. There were different things we added where I'm going to say with my programmer, even though he's outsourced in a country that's not very expensive to pay, I'm going to say I probably spent close to $3,000 fixing this. Whereas Claude probably could have done this in a half hour for free while we were eating lunch.
Pretty much. The Pro version, though, could do that
Pro
because
version.
we are using the Pro version.
And that's $20 a month or 50?
I cannot tell.
Okay.
I was never buying it.
Claude price. Let's see what the price is here. Pricing. I think, you know what?
It might have been 200 as well as
I think it was because it
ChatGPT.
just asked me if you'll want to pay in full, I'll save like $200 or something. So I
Oh no, it's
think
18?
Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, because it said
Nice.
216. I mean, that's cheap. Compare that. So like if I use that for an entire month and fix my domain site, that would have saved me $2,982.
Yeah, so
math
I
right?
cannot say for the other skills, but checking the coding skills, this is a very good. This is what AI Studio promised, but didn't quite get there maybe.
No, I like that. The fact that you can give it multiple files, have it fix them is really cool. Now, one of the things I really liked with Claude, I don't know if this works in this environment, but we were able to generate.
preview? You can use,
Which one?
the top 100 most, no wait. It's not in the stories, how so?
Not sure. I was looking for when I create a code, if I say, please make a mortgage calculator PHP, what I liked about this is the ability to download the files individually. And it usually names them something that we'll remember, which with other AIs, it's just, here's a text file. It's like new text1.txt, which
So
is a
it's
pain.
Closer to bold where it separates files and names them correctly.
Exactly. And I can download each one, which I really like. A lot of the others you have to copy and paste, and then you have to open, and then you have to save, which it sounds like, wow, you're complaining about something that's so easy. But when you're doing this 100 times a day, as you know, it gets, you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
I also know that it shows preview.
So see how I called it mortgage-calculator PHP? Yeah, and then it does do the preview as well. It depends on the type of file, I think, though. Did you?
Can you restart the page and see in the history if my things... Oh, yeah. AI model performance metric.
Got it.
This is the code it created for the image, and it actually is running preview on it, I think. At least it did for me.
Okay, and tell me about... So here's another thing I liked about this. For those that want to do faceless videos, faceless YouTube channels, this will put data in these really cool little tables. I mean, that's not the greatest.
It's because it's opening wrong here, but I think when you press on edit it a little lower here.
Oh, right here. This? Or edited?
I think this. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, yeah, that's much better.
And if you scroll down, you can see the last version it's made, which was
down here.
Completely.
Nice.
No, at very end of it.
Very
end of the chat.
So
yeah, this is the last one.
This one.
Okay,
nice. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's a really good looking overview, and it definitely doesn't like Google. That's why I just gave it the gray and like, no, sorry, we don't like you. But we like Google. If you're listening, we like you.
It used Google Colors.
It did use Google
for all the other things except Google.
It absolutely did use the Google Colors. So yeah, I'm seeing that this has functionality, because what's going to happen is we're going to start to use AI. You're going to get a tool you like, and you're going to use it a lot. Like we use it all day, every day. And there's certain tasks that I do and certain things that are annoying that I just don't like. So one of the things, like let's say I go over here to Claude, or like when I'm in ChatGPT, and I'll show you guys an example here. When I do ChatGPT, a lot of times what I'm doing is I'm doing structures of content. So like, let's say I want to do, oh, you know what, I'm in the wrong one. Let's say I wanted to do something like, last night I was doing, where is it? Somewhere, banner design tips and tools. So this was for a banner design website. Now, I found out that using DeepSeek, game changer in the way it thought about content structure. Just blew ChatGPT out of the water. Like it was laughing at the preschool from college. Like that's the difference here. Now, what I don't like about this is even when I say now put in a code box, no quotes, it's going to put it in a code box, but I have to copy it. What I want to do is test this and see, because I do a lot of these, and it would be nice to be able to just boom, click text, and then I go in my download folders and I got everything. Because if I'm doing like reports and stuff, maybe I want to make a membership site or whatever, I could go through and use that in a cool way. So if I say something like this, I probably should have given it like 10, but you know. So now it is going to allow me.
Yeah, download it right away.
That's really cool.
It's just a little thing, but very convenient.
Very convenient. And something to where, like, if I was to have a shareable download folder or something like that, I could share this with my outsourcer, or I could throw it into a Google Drive and have make AI use them to make content about.
Oh, about that, they also promised the automation in the code area.
Yeah. Tell us about, what did you see with that?
I cannot tell for sure because I'm actually not using like a classic programming things like a terminal, everything. But I think it's like to the side of where testers are. Or when you work as a team on one project, it's just going to make it easier and faster to control the process and test the things you do. Because it can see things from multiple files and analyze them together. Is it supposed to work?
I like that, because what I'm thinking here, and this is next level type stuff. So first of all, I'm seeing, yes, it does save these, which is cool, because right now, when I do reports for people, so let's say you own an agency or whatever, like we have here, when you do tools and reports and things, you have to save and package them in their own thing, or you're sitting here every day going, oh crap, where did I save it? Where is it? Oh my gosh, let me search. And I mean, how many minutes a day are we spending searching for stuff? Versus this saves it. Part two, now it saves it. I can upload them all and say, what do you think about all these reports? What would you make as a website? I mean, this is taking you from one and done to now I'm thinking about everything. Almost like Notebook LM does, but in our own environment created by itself. So I like that. I think that's really cool. And the ability to do that is game changer, because now I'm saving stuff. Now I have something to give to the client too. Here's your report, which is really cool. So looking at that, I think the reasoning, again, let's look at the difference and look at the difference between here's a banner ad tips which I had to prompt it several times to get the actual tools. So it did do brand consistency, white space, then it's got tools. So let's see what we got here. Keep it simple, clear hierarchy. These actually work better for Pinterest titles, I think. So now we have this, cultural, scalability, softwares. So starts the softwares about the same.
Yeah.
About five off.
I think it's probably the same level of reasoning.
Industry standard. So on this, didn't tell me about them. It was just like, here's the tool, figure it out. Corel Draw, and then we go into AI tools. Okay, did it do this? It did some. Luca, Crello, Dolly, Midjourney, Jasper. These are actually more commonplace.
Yes.
That's cool. I like this. And then it's got the sizes. Didn't have that before. Like when I'm doing this, I do these often for our Pinterest people. This is helpful for them because it's like now you don't have to go and look it up. Now you can produce twice as many per day, which is fantastic. So Google Display, I like this. And then the fact that I can save it. Now I did notice it saved it as an MD file. I don't know what that is, but it did open in Notepad.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll change it.
I thought it's some kind of a text file.
Make it TXT file. I mean, this is really cool because you could create the stuff that Bolt creates. You can create the files. I could do keyword reports. I could do a full niche synopsis. Synopsis, I think I said that right. And it would do that for me. And it looks like it edits on the fly, so it'll actually edit this, yes?
Yes.
So I can add
It has
to
several
it.
versions that you can switch between,
Nice.
including the last one.
It did not change it. It's a markdown, so I mean it's the same.
I think it's a different functionality. If it's already here as a download, you cannot change it to anything.
Yeah, and if that's what you're worried about, just go to your main files and just set it so it's like always open.
You can also change the format if you rename it, I believe.
Yeah, just .txt. Yeah. That's cool. So yeah, I like that. Definitely a game changer. As far as coding, fast. This thing is fast. What kind of codes have you tried? What kind of tools have you?
I haven't tried much. I only tried to fix this one and it showed me enough about how it can work already. But I think if you go back to the notes, there is some more things that I wanted to look through. So they fixed the speed of the answer. Usually it was a fixed pace of the answer for different models that they had. Right now it's more like flexible. If it needs to think longer, you can allow it to actually get a better quality response.
Cool.
So that's what they changed. And then within single model, the speed of responses can change even. So again, even within single model, depending on your request, you can get different depth of research before you're getting the answer.
Okay. And I haven't had any speed issues, timeout issues, or anything. Like ChatGPT always has timeout issues. DeepSeek is a timeout issue.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any waiting in my requests.
Yeah.
So because as ChatGPT new model arrived, it was loading for a while. I didn't see anything like this in Claude.
Yeah, and I'm paying, between all of our outsourcers, we're paying $500, $550 a month for ChatGPT, and this is $18. I mean, it's game changer. Also, one of the things I really liked for those that want to make money and you want to use something like Claude to do it, if we can find our Claude over here, watch what happens here. If I was to go through and say, please make a report on merchant accounts with links, options, ETC or ECT or one of them. One of those is the right way. So I can make a report like this. Let's see how it does in Grammarly, because I haven't tested this as far as writing.
Oh, interesting.
This is a pretty, I mean, look how fast that is.
It is very fast. Have you seen there is also a style choice? Like if it's formal, if it's report?
I have, yeah. So they have
At the bottom,
explanatory, formal, concise, and you can edit. So you probably
can create
tweak
your
it.
own.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But this is good. So let's test this in Grammarly, and then I want to show you something really cool, because We use WordPress for a lot of our stuff. However, if you're using a new website, it's almost better with tools like this to go back to regular PHP or HTML, because this can create the entire page for you. We did a webinar yesterday where we went through and I created a full site with all this stuff. I think it was, let me see if I can find it. I don't know if you were watching that one. It was this. So we had created it was based on YouTubers. So the idea was, if I can talk about all the YouTubers and their net worth, which a lot of people look for Mr. Beast net worth, Markiplier net worth. Nobody looks for mine because only 4 people care. But a lot of the YouTubers do. And I was like, okay, what if we made a tool that showed the net worth? So instead of like, oh, he's worth, 7 million, 20 million or whatever, we're going to go a step further. This was 100% created in Claude. Get ready. Mr. Beast net worth calculator. About, had the about. Select the YouTuber, and this is how much he's made since we opened the page. Counts up. You can reset it and pause it. You can even compare, right, like that. And then YouTube revenue breakdown per second, per minute, per hour, per day, per month, per year, based on 150 million monthly views at this RPM. Now, I actually went through and we tested a couple others as well, and it keeps the consistency of the design. So the reason I like this...
Oh yeah, that's way better.
Yeah,
that's a game changer.
And so the reason I like this, we did retirement calculators, and I even went through and added this block with my ClickBank link. It remembered it. And then I go, now how about put other YouTuber here? Now how about this one? And it was just page, page, page.
I think that is connected to the way it's designed, that when you have a new request, it creates a new version, but you can always come back to the previous version, which means it remembers the previous versions too, and it implies all those styles and changes.
And it's a pretty page too. Like this looks very nice. So looking at that, I can go through with Claude, where is he? Up here. And I can say, now make this a web page with a counter of estimate of credit card transactions per second or something like that. Use my logo at top and have a disclaimer and links to top recommended like Shopify, ECT or ETC.
ETC.
There we go. And it'll actually go through and it'll redo it. Watch this. So now it's our code and super fast. Now with this, you do actually have to load it. I don't think it'll show it unless you're doing like HTML or something.
Yeah, because it's several files.
Although that is HTML, so it might.
Oh, it might, yeah.
Either way, when you download an HTML, you can just open it in, Edge or something, yeah. So let's see this one here. And then I like the walkability, where it's like I could walk to the next page. Now do this one. Now do this. And I could save every time.
And you can also come back easily.
Exactly. And now I'm building a web page, or actually an entire website. I mean, this is the thing where, let's see, I didn't save the other report. So we're not going to get, we'll have to do a Grammarly separate.
Maybe it will have it.
Oh, it does have a preview.
Nice.
So it looks like I might have given it the logo wrong. It would have our logo. And check this out, preview code. So like I could go through and say, let's see, easy payment gateway, open image in a new tab. So here's our image. It's probably because it has all this junk behind it. That's actually, that's weird that that's there. At any rate. So let's go here, and then I can say code. I can find that, and it's almost having my own what you see is what you get editor kind of thing. There we go. So I could go through. I think I can edit it.
Yes, probably can.
Actually, let's do like this. No, it's not letting me edit.
Oh.
Yeah. So that would be nice. But at any rate, let's take a look. So it's got the transactions per second based on industry, merchant account options and comparisons. Stripe, visit Stripe, Square, PayPal. Excellent. So now let's see what this looks like in terms of Grammarly. It'll go in here. And I noticed your notes you made, which I think you made those in Claude, yes?
No, those are ChatGPT ones.
Okay, well, those came out zero plagiarism, zero AI, so that was pretty good. So 552 words, and then I could just go through, download, then I could say, now make it based on dropshipping merchant accounts. And then I could do now make it high-risk merchant accounts and all kinds of stuff, and it'll just change it, and I could just, boom, download, download, download.
And you got all the pages.
Got all the pages. Upload them and make money. Yeah.
So it will keep the design of the previous one?
Yep, it should. We'll know if the image is broken.
Yeah.
That'll be our telltale. And then in Grammarly, 3%, I'm fine with that. So now we're going through here. It's got that weird image. I wonder... That's weird that would be showing up.
Maybe you
that.
still should copy the whole link, even like of your image.
You know what? Let's use yours. Where was your tool? What was that thing? Your tool was this.
Yeah.
Open image and an open image and new tab. No, it's still on this CDM thing. Maybe it's his host or something. He had a different host.
Yeah.
That might be why.
Yeah.
That's why you should always use the host that we recommend. But anyway, it looks like it's doing the edit here. Required documentation, application process, and then this would just be the dropshipping one. So yeah, I see this download thing where we could just change it, boom, 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 just save them all. That's a really good one. So
yeah,
here
and
we
if you
have,
haven't saved the previous, you can still get back to it and save it.
and it changed it for dropshipping.
Yeah, it's the same design as far as I see. Also the counter.
That's changing, which is weird. I mean, I don't know what it's doing.
Because per second, so every second is
Oh,
different.
yeah. Okay, so it's
It
like
might be a
this
dummy one,
second.
but it's pretty.
Yeah, can you make it counting up like since you opened this page this many transactions? Let's see if it fixes it. It should, because that's kind of what we wanted, like the Mr. Beast one. We don't want to know what he made this second, and then the next second we want it to add up,
Yes.
which would make more sense. There we go. Oh,
Probably fixing
it's
something else.
pretending. There it goes. Look at him.
Oh.
So I'll just delete that.
This is a very nice way of editing. It's actually not writing the whole thing.
Yes.
I like it.
This is like super efficient. There we go. That's good. Based on industry dropshipping merchant account guide. Welcome to Easy Payments. I wonder how it knew that.
From the logo of the images.
So it read the logo. Because remember,
It
the
read-
fact that we had
it
that
does read
weird
the
link.
links. Yes, it does read the links of the logo.
So, but what I'm saying is it maybe in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe from that. Interesting. Okay, so it's got that understanding dropshipping challenges.
It understands what are you making it for.
It does. This is... I mean, once this gets into agenic stuff, like AI agents and all that, it's good. The internet is going to change as we know it. Because it's going to be like, oh, there's an AI influencer that just influences on its own with its own mind of its own. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. But you could have this create no plagiarism or AI. 1%. Okay. That went up a little bit.
It was like, wait a minute.
It was teasing us. It's like,
Yes.
it was like 0%. Sponsored by Claude. Oh, wait, no, it's 1%. So looking at that's pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about, we went over the code preview, extended thinking. What else would you say to people who want to use this to make tools, make money, content, pages?
I would use it for advanced reasoning and for anyone who's using tools or having troubles with their codes. I haven't quite tested it in terms of design. The only thing I had is this chart. Looks good because ChatGPT didn't make this for me, but Claude did. So I'll just drop it there. It's funny that they are a little worried about safety there because it shows some kind of faking following the instructions.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but it genuinely is interesting. I think they're all having this race for of performance in different spheres.
And I think they're having the race without thinking about the consequences of the race. Yeah,
That's
you have
true.
like billionaires that are like, let's just throw money at it so we win, but at what cost?
Yeah, if you have a look, there is a chart that shows like a previous analysis here.
These ones?
So it was always kind of close. Yes, the Anthropic to OpenAI and everything. So it was there on top. I don't know why we personally didn't hear much about it. Do you feel like it's unadvertised?
Yeah, it's not as popular.
Not as promoted as OpenAI or DeepSeek?
Well, and OpenAI just crossed, I think, 500 million users, which is huge. And I mean, even in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge amount of the world.
Yeah, and always when people compared it, I always seen that Anthropic is very close to them. And right now it's still like, there's a new chart at the bottom, if it's the right document. It's not. Okay, but the one that we opened from Claude, it's still like on the very top of performance of everything.
This one?
Yeah, like OpenAI still leads, but Anthropic is very close to it. Like in reasoning, in coding, I think it will be higher because of this new update.
Well, and I think also a lot of times it's the what it's for. So like you can have it's like book smart versus street smart. Like you can have someone who tests really high academically at school, but they couldn't survive if you put them out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like you should have a look at all of them.
Absolutely.
And find what they are best at and be using that.
Yeah. And like, so if I was going to create a software app, I'm going to use Bolt. If I'm going to create a script, I'm going to use Claude. If I'm going to create
A marketing strategy.
I'm going to use DeepSeek. If I want to write content, I'm probably going to use ChatGPT. Although
I also use ChatGPT for regular requests when I'm researching something because it usually understands what you actually need.
yes,
Whereas DeepSeek sometimes gives you like a really tiny bit of information and be like, here. You're like, no, that's not enough for studying.
yeah. Remix artifact, interesting. So yeah, using these kind of interesting thing here, and it looks like you can remix other people's stuff as well. And it's showing you like the code behind the image, which is weird.
Yes.
Like I never knew this stuff existed.
Me neither, but it shows preview too, and I was like, okay. And you publish it. I'm not sure where you publish it actually. What platform is it using?
Yeah.
But you can download it too, and probably open through just browser.
JPEG or something.
No.
No?
CVH.
SVG.
SVG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah, and so if we download, it's going to do SVG. Nice.
Half of it's just gone.
Yeah, just like, nope, that's all you get. Let's see if it's over here. There's been a lot of transactions. So yeah, I think that this is definitely good. It did only download half. I would say if I only had $20, I think I'm going to go Claude. Yeah, like I like ChatGPT, but
True, because you go Claude Pro, right? And you can only go ChatGPT regular.
yes, and less people using it, less plagiarism out of the gate, ability to create these charts that actually work. ChatGPTs sometimes are like, you know,
Here's the table.
yeah, here's the table's over here and the circle's over here, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't know. It's a circle table gram thing. This is something I can use right out of the gate, which is cool. I like this, and there's a lot more control. It's easier, it's faster.
Agree.
Yeah, if I only had $20, right now, today, February 27th, 2025, I would choose this. Hands down. The ability to look at multiple codes, things like that. Again, as Alina mentioned, very wise. Use what you're using for that specific use. If you're looking for a one-size-fits-all, I think you need to figure out what for. Like, what am I using this for? Then choose the tool. Don't just choose a tool because it's hypey and cool and
Yeah,
yay.
I wanted to say, like, I would still go to Google AI if I need an assistant who can look at my screen, because that's a unique
Absolutely.
feature that they provided. And like, if I need like step-by-step doing something on a computer that I've never done before, or something in the application that I've never done before, I'll go there and be like, what do I click?
Well, and if I want to save time on creating content that's unique to me, I'm going to use Notebook LM, which lucky it's free.
Yeah.
So there you go. Using these for different things. And I think even if you had like a tools stack, you're under $200 a month and you have tools that, I mean, 4 years ago, I was paying $5,000 a month to have people on staff that did the stuff that these tools do for you free. So you do the math. I think it's smarter, but know why. Why am I doing this? How am I going to make I always look at business like, if I'm going to spend on this, how am I going to make my money back? How is it going to work? Now, $20, I forgot we were paying for this, to be honest. But, you know, how would I make it? A lot of people in other countries where $20 is a big deal, hey, figure out how am I going to use this tool to make $20? Ask it. Say, how would I make $20 having this tool? It'll give you some suggestions and you can figure it out. But understanding that download feature alone, I think I'm going to switch to Claude for my content strategies just because of that. Like that right there is like, okay, you're sold.
Faster. Yeah.
So really cool. I like that. And we can even title it. I could probably get away with titling it like, make a report for whatever website, name it this, so that it's like, oh, hey, here's a website, here's this, here's that.
It should come up with a good design of this report too. Seems like it's good at it.
Oh, and then I could just say, make a fancy report for my client. Boom. Now they feel like they got more value. It only took 30 seconds in ChatGPT or in
Especially
Claude
if you do it in
3.7.
one history and you have already a template.
Exactly. Yep. No, I like that. So yeah, I think this is great. Thanks for your insight on that. There's a lot of good stuff here. Definitely use Claude 3.7. Smash the like button. Check out the videos in the description, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next one.